Robbie Vassler. I'm a junior. I was Eric Harris in the production.
I'm Allie Hoxie. I'm a junior. I played Perfect among other roles.
I'm Mark Powell, and I played Dylan in the production.
I'm Jeff Watson. I am a Justice Studies major. I was a jock.
I'm Brennan Shockney. I played AP among other roles.
My name is Amanda Spellman. I played Rebel.
I'm Carmen Morales. I'm a junior theater major, and I played Faith in the show.
I'm Pat Hirsch. I'm the dramaturge of the play.
I'm Julie Schroll. I'm the director. That's pretty much all you need to know.
16 students joined with these cast members of Columbinus to discuss the play and the violent acts that inspired it, 3 days after the final performance here at JMU. During the hour-and-a-half discussion, topics ranged from thoughts about the play itself to statements about society, the media, and what could possibly have driven the Columbine shootings.
I think it just goes so far beyond just like mental instability to, I mean, the media obviously has a huge impact on it.
You know, people put a lot of pressure and stress on other people, and you know, unfortunately, sometimes trigger this to happen.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, Eric was insane, but Dylan wasn't either. Dylan had no medication. He was just literally depressed, and he was brainwashed by him, and that has a lot of power.
Out there on the internet, and I think we all found this during our research, that you can't believe everything that people write. And I don't think, I mean, Eric had mental issues, but I do not think that was the reason that he did this. Like, I also don't think it was because someone pushed him in the locker room and he decided to go shoot 15 people.
Right,
I mean,
right.
but he was on medication, yes, and he went off it, but I don't think that's why he snapped, you know? And like, he has that line when he's talking to his parents in Act 2, I wish I was a sociopath so that I didn't feel remorse about this, but I do. He was pretty sane.
I think that it's a difficult thing for all of us to kind of turn the microscope and look at ourselves, put us in their shoes. What would we do? And I think that what you guys did well in the show was you put that microscope in very base terms, in stereotypical terms, but it did force us as your peers, and it forced us as a college audience to sit there and wonder what would happen if someone came in right now and did this here. You know, what would we do?
And if any one of us were in his shoes, we all have the potential to do this. It's just that some people know how to deal with their problems. Some people know what to do in certain situations. And obviously, in Eric and Dylan's case, they dealt with it the wrong way.
It's this obsession to get as much information out as fast as possible and cover it for as long a period of time as possible.
Well, prison ratings, I mean, they do the 24-hour coverage. They do the live at. It's almost like a wrestling event or like a sporting event.
Before they even know what it is.
Yeah.
It's
and like even with
exactly.
the coverage, like say there's, like CNN does some legitimately good, like realistic look into their lives and look at their like psyche. But the way they put them on TV, like you said, is like flash cuts of like ominous tones or like flashes of guns. Like it's entertaining, so people will want to view it. And that's like we all talk about, like the thin line. Like where does it go from trying to figure out why it happened and if you can do anything to stop it from, I guess, exploiting it.
Looking at Eric and Dylan, it's like they came from fairly nice families. They came from really great environment. They came from a very lush, affluent area.
Because, I mean, this is like a really bold statement, and it's talking about something that makes people uncomfortable, and it can spark ideas and things like that. And I found myself being like, is this a safe theater? Is everything okay in here? And I was just wondering that, because I mean, you guys, that's something that is so awesome though about this play, because it's not just a movie that you can turn off or that you can walk out on. You guys are putting yourselves out there telling this story, and we as audience members are coming and putting ourselves in a situation to watch it.
That we put it out there like, this happened here. And I like the fact that this opened a discussion about, but this could happen here.
Yeah, right. Like the most touching moment of the show for me was Brandon's tiny little spurt of when he was the pastor. Because I would have never considered how a pastor feels.
What do we learn from this? Like, how do we change the way that we act towards other people in order, like, is that what caused this, the way that this kid's sad to me, like that sometimes people don't take that into consideration. Like that's why history repeats itself, because it's like that's great that you're there for the person for a little while, and then it just goes back to where it was before the tragedy, and it's just going to keep happening. And that's kind of Jeff's monologue at the end was, sure, for the time I've changed, now I'm different, but is that enough? And I think we all kind of think no. And and so it's like, so what are you going to do about it?
For The Breeze, this is Dennis Edmonds.